I'm going to critique David Dobrik's house and give it an Arvin score based on my 10 principles of quality. So if you ever decide to remodel a property, build a property, or buy a property, you won't make the same mistakes as David Dobrik. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the How to Buy a Mansion guy. Let's watch his mansion tour together.
Look at us just walking around in David's home.
Can you spot what's really unique about this property? I sometimes pause the frame and ask my subscribers to spot something because it's a muscle you have to exercise, and then I tell you what the answer is. Okay, I'll give you guys 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, before I tell you guys, if you're planning to purchase a property, you can ask me directly to critique it. Okay, join the buyer circle, link is in the description. And if you want me to critique other people's properties, just come live on YouTube Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay, did you guys spot it? Your side yard is your backyard and your backyard is the side yard. Now, I'm not against this because it achieves actually a lot of outdoor space and the house sits comfortably on the lot. The house actually blocks the back neighbor from looking into your backyard, so it creates more privacy. But one issue arises. This is going to be a long house. Now, I want to see in the video what they've done to mitigate this element and make it not feel like a long house.
All right, guys, we're going to start our tour on the exterior like we always do. This house has a great motor court, plenty of space for parking. We have the first 2-car garage on our left-hand side, currently being used as a storage.
Okay, it's not a great motor court. It's a good motor court for 2 reasons. One, it doesn't have a private driveway. It doesn't have create that anticipation, that reveal at the end. And second, it's not big enough to make a U-turn. You have to make a 2-point or a 3-point turn. And that's why it's a good motor court, not a great motor court. But what's disappointing, and it's the one element of being sideways to the street in a longhouse, is that your front facade is not that impressive. The front facade is not screaming to me $9.5 million, which how much he's paid for it. Architecturally speaking, it's slightly better than a white box. They've put a slanted marble on one side, but it's very plain. I mean, it's all white. There's no wood element. There's no clouding. It's very, very bare bone, okay?
And there he is. What's up, bud?
So obvious. I was just standing here.
I was
listening.
There.
So we can meet David. I'm like, my cue.
When are they coming? Well,
come on in.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Where are you taking us first?
Well, wherever you want to go. I feel like you know this place better than I do. So
I do a little bit, but I still want to see it and kind of hear it from your perspective, you know?
Okay, so from my perspective, this is the podcast room. This was an office before, and now we use it to shoot our audio and video podcasts. And it's awesome because you got, obviously the view here, so.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm going to give it a view score at the end of the video, but I want to talk about 2 things about this office. Obviously, having an office by the front door is not something new, but it is so important in this particular house because it also shrinks the length of the house. Do you remember I told you guys we have a length problem over here? It's too long, right? And by putting the office up front, not just you go by the standards of the traffic, people coming in and out of the office, they don't have to go through the house. Noise is not coming to the office, especially in his case where he's using it for a podcast. It's a great placement also to shrink the length and not have a long house in the rest of the property. You will see how that plays out in the rest of the video. Check this out.
This guy drew these with pen and there's another one with pencil, but I think this is with pencil. Like the detail on these is absolutely insane. So I like little fun art pieces like that.
Well, there's also another art piece here that we kind of helped you.
No, not kind of, you did.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
All right, so this is like your formal space, I'm assuming, like seating area.
And the wow factor. Now, when you open the door to this property, you're facing east, but in reality, all the property is really opening up to north. And that's not ideal because you're not going to get that much natural light coming in. But the developer has created the opening, maximized it so as much natural light as possible to come in and has kept a really light tone on the interior. The floors are off-white, ceiling is white with really light natural wood colors on the inside. So again, not really attractive, nothing fancy, very, developer flip spec project. He hasn't really done anything impressive as far as interior finishes goes, but he's done one thing really, really good. This width to height ratio is not that good. You can already tell this is probably a 10-foot ceiling, and the house is so long, it's showing it. But it could have been a lot worse. If that office was not placed in the beginning of the property, the wow factor would have come out right away, and this part would have even looked longer and more unproportional of length to height ratio. By delaying the wow factor, you put the office there, you're fixing the length of the problem one step at a time. Now, what I'm paying attention over here is also layout. How many rooms and functionality you're getting from each room, and how easily they're connecting with the room next to it. That's the most important element of fixing a long layout. In this room, you're getting two elements out of the door. You get the pool table on one side, the game area opens up to the backyard, swimming pool, great, and a formal living space. And there's a very generous opening in between it where they both sit comfortably.
Yeah, this is staging furniture, and this was the only thing other than like a mirror upstairs that we kept from what was staged in the house.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you don't use the space that often. You just
you'd be shocked.
Okay, two elements over here. The wine cellar, horrible location, natural light coming in. This is exactly where you don't want to have a wine cellar. But what's also impressive over here, there's another bedroom over here. So I'm assuming there's at least 2 bedrooms downstairs and 4 bedrooms upstairs. And this is the door to the garage. This is another powder room. And you can already see the other room, the kitchen and the family room is right next to it. So this is brilliant. This is really, really great for a long house. You get 2 rooms separated by this wall right next to each other, and you get functionality from both of them, and they both open up to outdoor spaces. So fantastic.
So you do watch our videos?
Yes, of course.
What are some of the things that you enjoy watching it?
I really like how
oh my god, this is the NBA player whose house went to auction, lost a bunch of money selling this property. I have actually critiqued it at the end of the video. I'll link it so you guys can check it out.
I love the different decorations they have on the wall, and just how a house is set up. You'll see later that there was an art piece. Should I show you now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go see it.
There was an art piece that was in a video that I think it was like a $16 million house.
In Brentwood.
Yeah, and the driveway was flushed into the
house.
It was amazing.
You call that amazing, David? No comment.
And there was this, but it had a bunch of elephants and different animals on it. And I DM'd you and I was like, where is that from? That is the coolest thing in the world. And then you hooked me up with Peter.
Yeah.
Who made this.
We found him. And then we talked to the owners, and they're like, it's this artist named Peter. We found Peter. I DM'd Peter. I was like, my friend is going to contact you. Make sure to respond to him, and then you guys work together, and that's the new piece now.
He's a real estate guy, YouTuber, art dealer.
Connect people, everything.
Okay, let's pay attention to this room. Again, 2 elements, they knock it out. It's a family room that very much might function as a media room, and there's the kitchen right there. Right? And it also opens up to the backyard. You see, just because it's a long house and it's a long lot, that doesn't mean you should avoid it. If you have a solution for a lot that is typically flawed, all things equal, if this lot was a square-shaped lot, it was better, right? If it had enough width that you could have put the backyard on the other side, an equal amount of space on both sides, would have been better. But it didn't. If you have a solution to fix it, and this developer did, because by positioning the house this way, created security and was able to chunk in living quarters next to each other that went with each other, creating good flow to the house so it doesn't feel long. At the same time, having indoor-outdoor flow from every direction. Very well executed home.
My biggest pet peeve with this house, I think it's built so great, but the only thing that always confused me is how uneven this living room area is with this area.
Do you know why?
Pay attention and see if you can solve it, okay? Listen to this and try to see what is actually causing it. Because Enes kind of gets it, but not fully.
Because your corner is so valuable and the view corridors you get is so important that he had the minimum kind of set back the fireplace 6 to 8 foot. And then you ended up opening up the corner, but your symmetry is totally off.
Yeah.
And normally someone would put a really fancy furniture here that is super uncomfortable, but you went totally opposite. You went full comfortable,
It's gotta be
cloud
comfortable.
couch. That's why it's not aligning.
What do you think? It's all in this frame. I'll give you a hint, okay? Pay attention. I give you 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. You're not at the end of the house here. Behind this pizza art, there's a movie theater. You see, the developer put the office on one end, the movie theater at the other end to make the space shorter. So you optically, you won't feel like it's as long. It's a good move. But David realized this after purchasing the property. He fell for the trick. And this is really, really interesting, actually, because pay attention. We didn't see an indoor dining table, okay? You could perhaps move pool table to this area next to the bar and next to the movie theater, and then have a dining table where the pool table is, and then your family living room would be your formal living space. Otherwise, you're left with what? 2 TV rooms or TV and media room right next to each other. If you want to avoid that, you have to, at this point, open this wall up, okay? And integrate that media room into the family room and put the pool table over here and the dining table where the pool table is. But then the house will look longer, right? And the developer was trying to fix that.
Show me the back. I actually really, really like this bar area, backlit countertops. And man, your candy station looks awesome. And
okay, don't get distracted by the candy, because not just we have a media room and a TV room next to each other, we also have a drinking bar and a candy station on this side, and then you have the kitchen counter on that side. Now, to fix this element for David, what I would have suggested, one way of fixing it is not really opening up the movie theater to the family room, keeping that closed and turning that to the bar, drinking, dancing element that opens up to the backyard. For a bachelor house like this would be great, and really creating a really cool media living space facing this wall. Now, that turns into a positive, the fact that you're north facing. You're not going to get much reflection coming into the TV if you place it on this side, because you're deeper into the house and the ceiling heights are not as high, and you're north facing, where you can really have a badass family room, media room that you will always use regardless of if you're watching TV or a big screen movie theater experience, all next to your kitchen. You might even be able to fit a dining table somewhere.
Amazing. David, take us to the outside.
Okay.
This backyard is sick. I know it's one of the big reasons why you ended up buying this place.
It is, 100% is. I really wanted a pool and I wanted backyard space, and in LA, unless you're spending like 40, 50 million.
That's already like 10 million plus, basically. Good view, backyard and a pool, you're already in a $10 million range.
Yeah, it's tough. So I got really lucky. I bought this place like peak COVID, when like everybody was telling me not to buy, and luckily I went with my gut and I bought it, and now it's worth
probably 30-40% more.
Yes.
Easily.
More like 20% more. And that's by luck. He bought it for 9.5. I would say it's around 12 million right now. But it's not because property prices were going up recently. In fact, they were coming down and the demand was really drying up. But what happened artificially in Los Angeles, because of the fires in Palisades, a very, very wealthy neighborhood, the population there is dispersing. A lot of them are going to Manhattan Beach, some are going to Brentwood and Santa Monica, and some are going to Studio City and Sherman Oaks and Encino. So I could see this property appealing to a Palisades buyer who will look at this and be like, wow, that's a great value, and purchase it.
And I have a feeling like just seeing your videos, you utilize this backyard a lot. Like I always see people here, you guys use the pool a lot.
like no other. Like we are always out here. I can't explain. Like there's not a part of the house that's like not being used at any moment. So
okay, one of the best things about this property is not just its amount of outdoor space it has, because it's long, but it also has a decent amount of width. It doesn't feel so long, right? And it's indoor-outdoor flow. I mean, in California, this is your expectation. If you want to get a modern house, you want that open space. You also want that indoor-outdoor flow, and this property delivers it.
You have your spa here, Baja shelf, nice light color plaster. You have an outdoor shower there, incredible views, and of course, sliding glass doors open up from the formal living room, kitchen area, flow straight to the backyard. Now, outdoor seating area, fire pit in the center. This is a cool spot.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm still just trying to get back inside of that candy, but
I know, the gummy bears were really good.
They were insane.
Exactly. Something about these like canyon views and city views, I feel like he kind of gets like a nice blend of it. And then you have this mature tree here, which provides amazing shade. Swing chair. It's a cool spot. Personally, I would sit down here all the time. I don't know, read a book maybe, and
Don't underestimate the swing chair. You see, people subconsciously fall in love with an element and then they justify it with other elements that don't even matter and they don't even care, okay? This swing chair probably contributed to $500,000 to $1 million of the purchase price and a binary decision of buying or not buying, okay? These little things matter so much that costs nothing. And not just they sell the house, but also they brand the house. When the husband and wife or the bachelor and his friends, after coming to the house, not just they will all come sit on it and enjoy the moment and take ownership of the property. After they walk away, they brand it, right? They don't remember the house number or the street number. They will say the house with the swing. It's such an important thing and such a cheap way to make people fall in love with your property.
Now, another cool amenity in this house. He has a half court here.
Okay, you're looking at the house behind you. You're like, Arvin, privacy issue. I agree, but it's just very poorly hedged. You see, that's the property line. You can see the fence right there.
You have an outdoor barbecue area here, and off of the family room, this section is also covered. You have an outdoor dining area, space heaters, more seating. It's definitely a good sized backyard. And now we're back in the family room. Cloud couch is really nice. I'm gonna have more candy. Now that David is gone, we can just kind of...
There you go, scoop it.
All right, Mikey, we're gonna try this one out. All right, we're getting carried away. All right, let's continue. So we're back kind of at the entry. This is where we have the formal seating area, billiards table, really cool art piece on this wall as well. Sliding glass doors open up. Let's see what else. There's a powder room around the corner. There's an office space here, opens up to the garage. You guys saw the podcast room off of the entry.
Okay, I don't know if that was an actual room. I didn't see any closet or bathroom. That means there are 2 bedrooms downstairs that might not have a shower. Again, they didn't show everything in this tour, but that could be of a concern.
And I think that's it for the first floor. Now let's take the stairs, go check out the second floor. Off of the landing, you have another seating area, another one of these sectional, comfortable cloud couches.
Okay, this is really stupid. How is this competing with downstairs? I think if for like, I'm just assuming the young kids, YouTubers, I would say you should put, maybe a foosball table, ice hockey table, some element like that. You don't even have a wall to put a TV where you could maybe make it a video game area, right? It just, to me, it's a huge couch and you would never get used. And it's blocking the windows also. Horrible placement.
Unfortunately, we cannot go into 2 bedrooms on the right-hand side, but we can check out this one here. This is the front-facing bedroom, just like the primary bedroom. Definitely good size, king-size bed here. Sliding glass doors open up. Another balcony. Let's go check out the bathroom. It starts here, and a lot of natural light coming in. You have a vanity here, tub shower set up, good sized bathroom.
Okay, the finishes throughout the house are very, very simple. Tile, quartz. Again, I don't think this developer really went all out on the finishes whatsoever.
And that's kind of it for this bedroom here on this wing. Now, we're gonna go to the other side and check out David's bedroom, which I'm excited about. It's literally the entire left wing. Very, very spacious room.
I don't doubt it. Why? Because it's a long house. It's going to be a really long bedroom, right? But what you actually sacrifice on this long house is going to be that 3rd and 4th bedroom on the other side, because you had to stack 3 bedrooms on that width, which is really not that wide, because in the middle, you had to have the staircase, you had to have the landing area. Those are going to be probably the smallest bedroom. What you saw was the junior primary suite, which was much bigger than the other bedrooms.
Gotta be one of the biggest primary bedrooms that we have seen on this channel. And look at the seating area alone. I mean, this could easily qualify as like a family room. Fireplace. He doesn't have a TV here. And this neon light says, the noblest art is that of making others happy. Pretty noble.
Great use of space to have a seating arrangement for a long room, right? I think the developer has done a really good job of recognizing the weakness of the layout or the lot in the construction and trying to use the spaces really wisely to take advantage of the long house instead of turning it into a flaw, right? That will be really, really obvious.
Now let's go check out this bed. I think this is the biggest bed we have ever seen on this channel.
Okay, I think the ceiling heights maybe dropped by a foot on this level because optically it definitely shows on a long room like this, it becomes a little bit more obvious.
Now let's go check out the closet. He has a massive walk-in closet, and I want to open up a couple of these doors and then see what kind of clothes he has,
A little weird, but let's do it.
A little bit like, he left us alone here. What are we going to do,
Yeah.
All right, It's definitely good size. The entire walk-in closet is basically old cabinetry, so you can kind of get this like minimalist look, or you can open up a couple of these doors and...
Of course, we open it in clickbait sweaters or clickbait sweatshirts.
I mean, he's fairly organized, you know?
He's got a lot of a lot of hoodies, that's for sure.
That's for sure. And he has like kind of his shoes and other stuff here. More of these like glass fronts so you can kind of see what's in the drawers. I mean, he has pretty good amount of shoes. This is the second part of the closet.
Yeah, this is a pretty big closet. It's just the material used is, first of all, it doesn't go with a modern house. It looks like a, kind of a cigar lounge that was, very dated, but a great space. Again, also very good for a husband and wife. Enough space for, the price caliber.
Now we're in the bathroom. Obviously, it matches the size of the primary bedroom.
And equally really, really cheap finishes. Again, the developer did not spend much money on the finishes at all. Okay, let's give it an Arvin score. And remember, if you want me to critique your property, join the Buyer's Lounge. Link is in the description. And if you want to watch me critique other people's property, I go live on YouTube Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay, location. I'm going to give it a 7. Great street in Sherman Oaks. It's going to get a 7. Lot quality, another 7. The dimensions are off, but you have a lot of flat area. Lot utilization. This is a weird one because on one side is really bad. On the actual south side, you're against this other property, but the frontage, not bad. Again, not a private driveway, but not bad. And then your side yard is a lot of depth in that backyard. And then you have backyard, which is really your side yard now. You had a lot of depth in your yard. The house set comfortably on the lot. I'm going to give it another 7. Privacy, I would give it an 8. No one really looked into the property except the one behind into the basketball court area, which I think you can really cover that up as well. Lot orientation, it's a 6. Right? It's majority north facing with a little bit of east facing. It's going to get a 6. Architectural style, another 6. Not impressive whatsoever. It's a minimum effort to make it not exactly a white box, but it's still a white box. Views, I'm going to give it a 7.5. This is as good as views could really get in the valley. It just doesn't have a focal point. And this was panoramic, so it was really good. You had the east facing and the north facing. It was unobstructed. You only had the oak tree of your own, which was actually framing the view really well. Layout, I'm going to give it a 6.5, which is actually like, hats off. Like doing a long house is really difficult, and it only really collided in 2 areas, the small bedroom upstairs and also where the TV room was right next to the media room and the bar was right next to the kitchen countertop. So scale and volume, again, another 6.5. I think they tried really hard to optically correct the height to length ratio. It's going to get a 6.5 for that. Finishes. Oh my God, another 6.5. I think it was the bare minimum for a luxury home. It could have turned off a lot of people, and they would have negotiated harder on the price. So I think that was a big element that I think they could have actually spent more money and maybe would have got a higher number at the end. Now, here's an Arvin score. Now, if you want to see this crazy penthouse in Mumbai, India, you should watch this video. It's really, really interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.